I'm not anti-Semitic.
You're a fucking autistic fuck. Get out of here.
What's up, everybody? How y'all doing? My name is Jeremiah Red. This is the Basuda Triangle Podcast. We are coming at you live from Corky's and Tour Temple. Temple's #1 home destination for entertainment. They got comedy, tours. You can just rent a fucking limo. There's one parked outside right now. I don't know where they're going, but it looks like a good time.
We're taking Chloe away.
Yeah. Right next to me is my good friend Gary. He is the only person I know that's banned from the city of Philadelphia. How you doing, Gary?
What's up? Fuck you, Philly. The city, not Sharif.
Right. Not South Philly. Reef, shout out to him. Good guy. Folks, today we have a nice guest. We have our good friend Chloe Montgomery, a local. You may have seen her on Kill Tony.
Ooh, what's up?
Or what else? What else could we see you in? Plug yourself. Brag a little bit.
I've got an OnlyFans, Instagram. I post some of my stuff on there. I do shows in the Austin area. I just had some shows out in Florida.
Okay.
Kind of whenever anything pops up, I plug it there. So if you guys want to check me out, that's going to be Chloe at LV, so CHLOEATLV. That is my
I'm
Instagram.
going to plug it at the bottom. You don't necessarily
Oh,
have
well,
to
you know
spell
what?
it out.
It's the autism. Don't come
Yeah, I
at
do
me.
okay. I guess I can add producer to my resume now.
Yeah.
I do producing and stuff, so.
You're working on a podcast, right?
I'm about to start up a podcast. It's called Austin City Losers.
I love that.
Yeah,
That's
and
so sick.
basically I'm going to have everybody from like comedians, musicians, artists, whatever the case is, and just kind of sit down, shoot the shit with them, and kind of see what's
Yeah.
up.
So kind of what we're doing, just in a bigger city.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess
Bigger
so.
and better, possibly with a better budget.
We'll see about that.
She's been taking notes on all the mistakes we've made and knows what
These
not to do.
fucks. Oh my
These
god.
guys are just terrible. 10 out of 10 would not recommend.
So you said you did shows in Florida, right?
Yeah, so I just had some shows out in Florida.
How was that?
It was a lot of fun. It was different. There was a guy that came down here a couple months back, and he's from Florida, and he told me, he's like, yo, if you're ever out in that area, they love comedians from other places, and they will put you on a show, they will give you time, they eat that shit up. And so he plugged me with some clubs out there, gave me some connections, and...
Was it TJ?
No, this guy's name is Rob.
Okay.
And so...
Phil.
Yeah, so I went to go out there to see some concerts that actually got canceled, which worked out. So I did some stuff out there, and
You went to Disney World, right?
I did. I went to Disney
How
World.
was Disney World?
Dude, it was a madhouse because it's Christmas.
Oh, yeah.
So I had to like wait in line for like 3+ hours to get on rides. Like I only went on 3 rides.
I had like 5 Facebook friends in Disney World at the same time, and I'm like, you guys don't know each other, but I'd be like, wouldn't it be funny if they're like behind each other in line or something, or next to each other, just bitching the whole time about having to
This fucking bitch in front of me.
No shit.
I think Scott's there right now.
He
Oh,
was.
yeah.
I don't
Yeah,
know
he
if
was.
Still is.
Yeah, Scott's in Florida. Mm-hmm. When it was like 18 degrees here, he was like, it's 74 over here. I'm like,
off.
fuck you.
Yeah, it was like 80.
He did
It
too.
was
Yeah.
80 degrees when I was there just a few
was
weeks
so
ago.
mad.
2 weeks ago, and it was awful.
And like, we didn't even get like nice snow.
No.
It was just cold and angry, like it hated us.
Yeah, that's Texas for you. She's like a bipolar bitch mother.
Yeah.
Pretty
it's
much.
like, God.
Yeah.
Like I walked outside, I was like, oh, fuck.
There goes my nutsack.
Yeah, it's inside. I transitioned today.
So give us a backstory, who you are, how you got here, just the whole shebang. Spill all the beans, all the tea.
My name is Chloe Montgomery. I was born September 19th, 1997 in Temple,
Okay.
Texas.
All right,
No.
cool. Awesome.
No, so I am a comedian. I've been doing comedy for about 8 to 9 months now. And I'm thriving, I guess you could
What
say.
made you want to do comedy?
Because I'm autistic as fuck, and I had like a hard time socializing with people and like speaking in front of people. And growing up, I was always told that I was pretty funny, and I was like, what the heck, I'm gonna try it. So I kind of fixated on it and went out to some open mics and started doing that and kind of building up that confidence. And then one thing led to another, started booking some shows, kind of doing my own thing, got on Kill Tony, and then it just kind of took off from there.
Nice.
So
What was your first open mic? Was it here or no?
first open mic was in Austin at Creek in the Cave.
Okay.
Ooh, okay.
Heard good things.
Love Creek in the Cave. I'm there 3 times a week. So I did some stuff out in Austin, and then I heard that there was open mic comedy here in Temple, and I was like, oh well, shit, that's relevant because I live here. So I started coming out and checking that out, and kind of sat back for a while just to kind of get the vibe of the place, see what it was about, and then I started doing my stand-up here. So
Nice.
Very nice. So basically, you were doing mics out in Austin without even knowing that there was a mic here in Temple?
Yeah, no, because I live in Temple, but I'm in Austin like 4 times a week for comedy and just other things. And so I started my comedy career in Austin, doing open mics, going to shows, because at the time I was dating comedians. So that's kind of how I got my foot into the door with comedy as well. And I think I was on Facebook one day and just came across Corky's, and they're like, oh, we have an open mic comedy night on Wednesdays. I was like, oh shit, I didn't know that. So I came on by, checked it out, and been here ever since. So
That's how it always goes. Like people, like Temple is like a small town, like a small quote unquote city.
Mm-hmm.
And
I like to call it the biggest little city in Texas.
Yeah.
And but whenever I tell people I'm like, oh, I do stand up, they're like, where?
Yeah.
I'm like, well, there's a place called Corky's, and they're like that '80s movie. I was like, yeah,
Yeah.
if that's what you would associate it with.
No,
Or
it's a place downtown where they do comedy, they do party rentals, they do beer tours, they do wine tours, they've done drag shows here, jazz, concerts. I mean, if there's something happening in Temple, it's a good chance it's happening in Corky's. I'm just saying, maybe go out and check them out on a weekend. Karaoke as well.
Second Street is the funnest street in Temple.
Yeah.
There's only the 2 places.
There's only 2 places to go.
It's Corky's and it's Green Door.
Yeah.
Well, you got Pig Natty's. They got good food there.
Big Natty's, yeah, if you're bougie and...
Yeah, you're
Shout
gonna get really
out to
bougie, some Italian food.
Right. If
Dude,
you wanna
I'm not gonna
cry,
lie.
receiving your bill later.
I just don't think about that. I like.
It's honestly not that bad.
I show up when I get paid.
Especially at lunch.
Yeah,
Oh, really?
lunches are good.
I
Yeah.
never heard for lunch.
'Cause
Okay.
they got some pretty good lunch specials. It's only a little bit more expensive than Olive Garden is, but the quality is so much better.
Oh, okay.
You don't feel ashamed when you walk out.
Yeah, no shit.
You actually feel good about yourself?
Yeah.
I go to Olive Garden, I see the bill, I'm like, fuck, I should have just drove to Waco and got a Fazoli's.
They're like,
Wow.
here are your family. I'm like, yeah, I'm just ashamed of being here. I'm not my family.
You guys have fucked me just as hard as all my relatives do.
Oh, shit.
Olive Garden touches me harder than my uncle.
Oh, ooh. Do we need to dive into that?
No, which is, I feel bad about saying that because both my uncles are really nice.
Oh, so you weren't touched by your uncle. You're just
No.
a poser and you're just lying for
Just a
clout.
poser.
Damn.
I always
Cancel his ass.
Yeah, I always joke that I was like, I
Son
wish
of a
one of my
bitch.
uncles would have touched me, because at least I'd be better at comedy.
Give me a solid 5 minutes.
Hell
Like,
yeah.
come on, like, give me a little more trauma.
Damn.
So, I understand, I don't know how much you can reveal, but I guess we're going to find out. Projects you're working on outside of
Ooh.
OnlyFans.
So I was approached by a Kill Tony regular. He is pretty big, and he's just gonna continue growing because he is so fucking hilarious and unhinged. His name is Uncle Laser. You should check him out.
So funny.
Dude, love him.
I saw him in the last Kill Tony or whatever.
Yes.
And dude, he kills it.
He is like one of my really good friends.
I
Love him
haven't
to
seen
death.
him, but
You should
holy
check
shit,
him out.
The name.
Oh.
The name alone's got me intrigued.
He is
He
all
is
trailer,
Florida
all
man.
trash.
He sounds like he has the hookup for actual, real good cocaine.
Meth.
Uncle Laser? Just saying.
we're not going to disclose that, but we'll talk after.
Yeah, we'll talk after the fact, off
That's
the
our
record.
podcast.
Yeah, but he just became a Kill Tony regular, so he performs every Monday when he's in town.
Nice.
And
Where does he live?
He lives in Austin, but he works like 2 weeks he has to go out and for
Oh,
work, and then
gotcha.
2 weeks he's off. So
Wait, does he actually work in an oil rig?
yeah.
That's what I was thinking.
Oh,
yeah,
shit.
yeah.
Okay.
Yes,
Ring
but
guy?
I think he's actually about to quit his job
What do they call
since
them,
he's
Roughnecks?
doing
Yeah, something like
comedy
that.
now. Yeah.
Because like whenever he was like on stage talking about like doing an oil rig, I always thought that was just like part of the bit.
No, he actually works on an oil rig, so he
He's
works.
a fucking man.
Yeah, but he's actually, I think he's about to quit his job because
That's sick.
comedy is just taking off
He's
for
a
him.
manly
So
man. Holy shit.
I can't do that shit.
It's a dangerous job.
No,
yeah.
fuck that.
Holy fuck. All
I
right.
don't even change the oil in my car. Let alone
But he approached me and we kind of got to talking, and I told him about an idea for a show that I had, and he was like, shut the fuck up. I'm literally in a meeting right now because I'd had that same idea 3 weeks back. And I don't know if I can really disclose what it's about just yet because we're still kind of in the process of kind of figuring some stuff out. But from what I know is that we're going to start filming in February.
Okay.
We already have the first location
Okay.
picked out. But basically, I think it's gonna do well.
That's sick.
Just the aspects of it. I will say it involves ghost hunting, comedy. Results may vary. We'll see.
Results may vary.
I like that. Yeah.
Great
but yeah.
album. Shout out Limp Bizkit.
But yeah, it's going to be funded. I think there's a production team, camera crew that's on board, just
Holy
kind of
shit,
getting
alright.
those
So it's a
details
whole
down.
production.
Yeah, this
That's
is going to
sick.
be like an
That's so
actual
sick.
series.
Do you think one of those producers might want to come do some unpaid work for us? Help us technical shit up?
I mean, hey, $20 is $20. You might, well, you know, you could probably,
$20 an episode? I mean, might have to get a Patreon going for that.
Yeah.
you might have to pay them in other favors, but there's no
Hey,
telling.
$20 is $20.
That's what I
How about
said.
that?
I was like,
Just leak your OnlyFans to them. Just get a zip file, email it to them. Here you go. That's good for a month, right?
yeah.
So let me ask you this: did the OnlyFans come before or after comedy?
It came after because
After?
because when I made Kill Tony, I had so many men.
I
So
want that.
many men in my DMs.
They're
No shit.
dirty men.
Dirty dogs. And they were like, girl, you are fine as fuck. You need to do an OnlyFans. Do you have an OnlyFans? This and that. And I was like, I could probably make some money off of this. So
How did you feel, like, initially, like, that feeling whenever all these guys were approaching about it? How did you feel about, like, the aspect of OnlyFans?
So before, I mean, I kind of was on the fence about it because I've always, you know, seen these women, and there's like fellow comedians that are females that do OnlyFans as well,
Yeah.
and they do well, you know, they do a phenomenal job at it. But I was always like, I feel like I'm built like a 13-year-old boy, so I didn't think I would be, you know, people wouldn't.
I mean, people are into that.
That
bro,
yeah.
like, it's a weird place up there. It's Austin.
Horny priest.
Yeah, exactly.
But I always just kind of felt on the fence about it because I was like, I don't know if like people would like
Yeah.
want to pay to see stuff like that, like pertaining to my body. But I got like all these guys on my DMs, and you know, I was like, well, you know, maybe I should just kind of give it a try. And
Yeah.
so I did it, and I've been doing pretty well. You know, it's extra income on the
Yeah.
side, and you know, it's paying.
Anything specific about it, or?
I mean, like, I have, like, services that I provide. So, you know, for, like, 3 lingerie pictures, it's, like, $25 if they want to, quote-unquote, sext or so. I have, like, different prices, you know, for
There's
that.
like a list,
There's,
like a menu.
list. Yeah, and so,
That would explain why you're on your goddamn phone the whole time you're waiting.
hey.
Making money.
Hey.
Because, like, I've talked to, like, women in other, just different forms of entertainment, and sometimes, like, they'll go to OnlyFans and they feel like it almost, like,
Continue.
it almost, like, kind of, like, devalues their other entertainment.
Mm-hmm.
So, do you, like, you are a comedian, foremost.
I was a comedian before I did OnlyFans,
And, like,
so...
you would prefer yourself over comedian over OnlyFans girl.
Oh yeah, I'm still
So-
like, because even like the guys, like I have quite a big fan base, and a lot of them are primarily men.
Yeah.
You know, no surprise.
Horny bastards.
Horny bastards. And so, like I've had some cases where like the guys will try to slide into my Instagram DMs and try to like work stuff there, and I'm like, nope, this is strictly comedy. I don't mesh the comedy with the OnlyFans. I put comedy before OnlyFans.
Yeah.
If you want services, you can reach me on OnlyFans.
Like, you can't blur those lines.
No, because yeah.
So don't drop a link to the OnlyFans in the description then.
I mean, you could if you wanted, but
I'll leave that one up to you. Just
yeah,
let me know.
you could if you wanted, but it's not. Yeah.
Interesting. So I guess that kind of ties into the fact that comedy, most entertainment in general, like while there are a lot of women pushing through and really coming up and making names for themselves, it is, as described, kind of like an all boys club. Like,
Yeah.
what are your thoughts on that?
I kind of feel that way. I mean, in Austin, there are a handful of female comedians. Love them to death. They are awesome at what they do. But I feel like it's primarily, you know, male dominated. And I've never had any problems being a female in the comedian scene, as like discrimination wise or whatever the case is. I feel like everybody in Austin that I've worked with or that I've done shows with or I've been around, they're really awesome at accepting everybody.
Yeah.
So I haven't really faced any backlash. I think it's more so the fan base. I've received backlash. Because when I made Kill Tony, I had, you know, I had so much negative feedback from, you know, primarily men. because, oh, you're not funny, oh, this and that, you're trying too hard, yada, 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 whatever the case is.
Coming from non-comics.
Non-comics, but...
Here's what you need to do.
Shut the fuck up.
Exactly,
Really,
but
truly.
I feel like the positives kind of outweighed the negatives, and I did create a large, fan base after my Kill Tony set, and a lot of men were like, dude, you were so funny, keep doing what you're doing, your humor.
Yeah, don't change anything, yeah.
Exactly, and I mean, my humor is a little unhinged too, which I think is what
True.
does well in the male eye, I guess.
You want another Truly, by the way?
Oh, hey Mel. I would
Mel's
love
looking
another
like
Truly.
I sense some thirsty motherfuckers
She's like,
up here.
Basura Triangle
She just
bartender.
wanted to see me.
Oh. Chug, chug, chug.
Say less. There you go. Yeah.
John. Yes, please. Love Mel.
too.
She's amazing. If you ever come to Corky's, tip her,
You want one?
tip her very well.
Yeah, she's already got me. She already
Yeah,
knew.
I'll take another Truly's.
We have a telepathic connection.
Yeah. Shout out Mel.
Yeah, if
Shout
you ever
out
come to
Mel. Holy
Corky's,
shit.
tip her very, very well.
One day we need to have Mel up here.
Hell yeah, she would do
I heard
well.
she was at Burning Man one time, so
I'm so down.
Mel.
yeah.
I need to hear that story. That's amazing.
But like when you were talking about you got a lot of hate, like what I noticed is like not to fixate on that, but when it comes to comedy, male comics are super supportive of female comics.
Yeah.
But when it comes to like those like neck beard like incel dudes are like, I don't think women are funny. I was like, I don't think you're funny.
And I had a lot of those in my DMs, sending very, very nasty,
What a
ugly
bunch of
things.
dickheads.
And I just kind of, I
Yeah,
didn't
what
let
can
it
you do?
bother
Yeah.
me. I was like, I don't
That's
don't
good.
give a shit, because for every 5, negative comments that I received from people, I received 100 in positive comments,
Yeah.
So I'm like, whatever. I'm
Take
doing
care of the
me.
good and
I'm
leave the
living my
bad.
life how I want it. Fuck y'all.
Not only that, but like silent support's a big thing. Because on the flip side of that too, at least for me, because I haven't made a big on Kill Tony or anything.
Thank you, Mel.
So for me, what I've noticed
Thank you.
is that, and I don't remember who told me this, and God, I fucking hope I remember soon, so I can give them the proper credit they deserve. You good?
Yeah, I'm a piece of shit.
Okay, we knew
Yeah,
that,
you
but
are.
all right. The proper credit they deserve because they told me essentially for like every one person that goes out of their way to message you or come up and say like, hey, keep doing what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
We see your videos. We see like your clips that you post. We think you're funny, blah, 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 blah. There's like 10 people behind them. They don't say shit, but they follow you regularly.
Yeah.
So silent supporters. But yeah, those
Dude.
silent supporters could just like drop a couple more shares.
Numbers
Yeah.
speak.
Yeah.
Like that's
Metrics, man.
When it
That's what
comes
it's all
down
about.
to it, like there'll be like that one dude who hasn't got his dick sucked in like 18
for
weeks.
sure. And I mean,
And he's like, you're not funny. But then like you've got 15 other people going, dude, you're funny. I can't wait to see you at the next
Yeah,
open mic
and
or
I mean,
like your show or whatever.
I still have fans from Kill Tony that, they message me regularly.
Yeah.
I've created connections with them, and they're like, hey, are you ever going to come out to so-and-so? Or you're going to ever, do shows here? And, they follow my stuff, and they really like my, my material. And that means a lot to me because, going on Kill Tony that was my first time ever going to a Kill Tony or seeing the show. I didn't watch Kill Tony before, but I knew about it.
Yeah.
It was just kind of a spur of the moment thing. I went with Scott. We were like, fuck it, let's go. And
Scott gets mentioned at every podcast.
Scott Whitcop,
Hey,
shout
he's-
out to him. What
It's
a
one
guy.
of my best friends.
I
Love
love
Scott.
that dude.
Love him. But we were just like, fuck it, let's just go and see what happens. And sure enough, the first time I go, I was the closing comedian.
Yeah.
And I
love that episode, by the way.
I was on Tim Dillon's episode. He said
Yeah,
I
it's
was
like one of 2 episodes I've actually watched.
And he was like, you are the most racist comedian that's graced the stage. He's like, I love what you're doing. Keep doing it, which meant a lot, That
Yeah.
was awesome. And he's like, you did something. The crowd was just like, what the fuck? And
They were all over it.
yeah, and I was the first female drummer to ever be on the show, which was, or to perform, I guess, in a sense, which was really cool. I couldn't really go all out at the time because of something that I was kind of dealing with health-wise.
Right.
But I kind of did a quick riff,
Oh,
and
yeah.
I wish I could have gone all out, but given my circumstances, I kind of had to
But
play it
like
safe.
you, like how many views are like Kill Tony's like 100,000 views or something like that?
I have no idea. I haven't checked the views recently.
Like it's like world's number one like live
Oh, yeah.
podcast. and
So
stuff
Kill
like that.
Tony is the #1 live video broadcast
Yeah.
in the world. It has millions and millions of fans.
And like that's so sick because like people don't think of Texas as comedy. Like, and like Austin's grown so much
Oh,
to where
it's-
before it was like LA, New York.
Yeah,
And now
everybody
it's,
from
now
LA
it's
is-
LA, New York, Austin.
Yeah, and
Because-
Austin is the new comedy capital of the world, and
Like-
I mean, everybody is coming to Austin. I mean, Joe Rogan, he's about to open up his
Yeah.
comedy club soon. We got Tony Hinchcliffe doing Kill Tony on Mondays.
Was it Tom Segura who moved?
No, Tom Segura's got a place here too.
Yeah.
He's mostly in LA, but he's got a spot here.
Ron
Yeah.
White, I believe he has a
Yeah,
place.
Ron White's always lived in Texas.
Yeah,
though.
he's
Yeah.
in the Austin area, I believe.
He's from Houston, so yeah, but he's got
He's
a place
like
in Austin.
he's like the redneck Jedi.
I
It
just
looks
met
awesome.
him the other night. He's amazing.
No
Love
shit.
him.
I heard he's the nicest dude.
Oh, he's so sweet. Like, he was the Kill Tony guest, I think it was 2 or 3 weeks
Yeah.
back. And, you know, I hang around
That's
after
awesome.
Kill Tony because I'm friends with the band that closes out the show, Another Hour. Amazing if you haven't checked them out. And, you know, I hang around the...
You're in that scene.
Yeah, I hang around with Tony Hinchcliffe and all of them. But I got to meet Ron White, and I was like, oh, my God.
I want to meet him so bad.
Oh, my God. He's like the Gandalf of comedy. He just,
Yeah.
he's just got, like, long white hair. So sweet.
So I kind of want to pick your brain on this because in our previous episode, we were talking about newbies coming to the scene at Corky's
Yes.
and coming up, and I had mentioned that I've heard from a handful of people that, like, you know, because we're very welcoming and supportive
Yeah.
here in Temple and especially at Corky's, where I was like, yeah, man, like, what's going on? Like, what brought you out here? Blah, 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 you know, this and that. And they would say, like, oh, they have this plan that, like, they're going to get their reps here at Corky's, which is fine. That's
Yeah.
great. Nothing wrong with that. But then they're like, yeah, in about 6 months, I figure I can get on Kill Tony and then do really great at that and then just take off from there. And, like, I don't see that. I'm not going to say anything. What's your thoughts on somebody who thinks, like, within, like, a couple of months, they can just, like, go on Kill Tony and then just to the moon?
Well,
To the moon!
it's kind of hard in my case because when I made Kill Tony, I had thought that I was doing comedy for 8 months at that time, but I was only doing comedy for 6 months.
Okay.
And I made Kill Tony, and after that, my career kind of just skyrocketed.
Mm-hmm.
So in my sense, it kind of worked in my favor, if that makes sense.
She said you got to have the goods.
Right. You gotta have tits, that's what it is. But I don't know.
So you got the goods then, but not the...
But I mean, honestly, I wasn't expecting to be on the show. I just kind of went, you know, for shits and giggles
Yeah.
to have fun. I wasn't
Right,
expecting
because
to be.
it's a random drawing from everybody.
It's a
that-
random drawing.
There's 100 comedians there who've all signed up.
Yeah, but the thing is that if they see new names, they put it in the bucket
Yeah.
because they want, you know,
They want that fresh.
they want that fresh blood.
Fresh meat.
But when I went, I wasn't expecting to go up. I had only been doing comedy about 6 months at that time. I had never done anything to that scale, and lo and behold, I closed out Kill Tony that night.
Yeah.
You know what I just thought of real quick? I'm only slightly sorry to interrupt. There's going to be somebody that has done comedy for years.
Oh God.
And they went on Kill Tony and ate shit, and they're watching
my
this
God.
like that fucking bitch.
I know so many people.
Dude, yeah.
I know so many people.
I watched episodes where
Like,
this
so good for her.
Mm-hmm.
this guy, like, he went up and, like, I don't know his name, didn't care. And he, like, did the worst minute I've ever heard. I watched it, I'm like, I could do a better minute than that.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, Tony was like, so how long have you been doing comedy? He was like, 8 years. He's, what the fuck have you been doing for 8 years?
Yeah. They
Oh,
are brutal.
I saw a dude, because like I said, I don't really watch the show, but occasionally, like, my TikTok algorithm is obviously mostly comedy.
Yeah.
And I was flipping through, and it was like a 30-second clip that somebody uploaded where this guy, like, he just ate dick. And then
Happens all the time.
Oh,
Tony was grilling his ass, and, you know, he was like, where are you from? He's like, well, I'm from you know, Los Angeles. He's like, well, what brought you to Austin? He said, I quit my job, and I came here to pursue comedy. And Tony was just like, that sounds like that was a really bad move for you.
Yeah.
I probably was there for that one. I think I remember that
Yeah.
one. But
Like, that was not a good idea.
It happens a lot. And I mean, the past several weeks, the Bucket Pools, they've been comedians where that's like their first time performing ever. So the past
That's
several
so
weeks,
nerve-wracking.
it is. But the
Wasn't that
past
crazy,
several,
though? Like, we were talking about, sorry, again, I tend to interrupt. I had a little too many beers to be nice.
Thanks.
As the bartender's looking at me like, "Last
Smells
one,
like,
bitch."
do you want another one?
But no, how Austin's become this comedy hub where, like you guys said, like, people are just fucking, like they used to do in Hollywood. Like, they're just packing their bags and fucking coming out here
Yeah.
hoping for the best.
Yeah, and it happens a lot. And I mean, like the past several weeks, it's been just new comedians on the scene, and literally their first time performing ever was that night at Kill Tony.
That's
So-
bananas.
My
the
first
past
night
couple
was here
weeks,
at
it's
Corky's,
been-
and it was horrible.
Yeah.
I would not want to do that on the #1 most watched live broadcast.
My first
Yeah.
night was at a bar that burned down.
Yeah, but I mean, the
The
past
one
few
you
weeks
burned
have
down?
been, Are we committing arson?
No. I definitely wouldn't have done it because at the time, there was no mics in Temple, and I was
Yeah.
trying to make that a thing. Somebody else thought, fuck this guy. So, first open mic experience, you said Creek and Cave, right?
Creek in the Cave, yes.
How'd that go?
It went well. Yeah, I just, I think at that, that show, I just did one-liners, kind of.
I love one-liners.
I started out writing
Shout
one-liners.
out Adam Wolf.
Yeah.
Cat
Yeah.
Daddy. We
Cat
miss you, buddy.
Daddy. But yeah, I just kind of started out doing one-liners, kind of getting my feel for things. If I wanted to do more like the deadpan one-liner kind of thing, like
Right.
my ex was doing at the time, or if I wanted to do like more like storytelling kind of stuff, or a little mix of both, which I feel like I kind of do now, is a little mix of both. So I started off, and I mean, I did okay. I mean, I didn't do the best, obviously. It was my
Yeah.
first time going up, but you know,
Yeah.
I got some laugh, I got some feedback. And then I started going to more open mics, doing some writing tags, kind of getting some advice from people, developing more of like my style of comedy, which is not for the faint of heart, but
That's true.
I think
Yeah.
it's just me. So
I can say the same about mine. Yeah, it's I get some looks sometimes.
yeah, I
Weird
can't
how-
post a lot of my stuff online because it's like, I
Is
have
she
to-
racist?
Yeah, right. Is she racist or?
We're missing the context here.
But I just like I can't post a lot of my stuff because you know people
The
will
internet
take
gets
offense
mad.
to that, will report me and stuff like that.
'Cause
So I
you're not
kind
as
of
much trash as like maybe myself and Gary are, where we're just like, fuck it, you guys want content? Here's some goddamn content.
yeah I kind of have to play it safe.
Well,
so.
and like that's
My
like
family already knows I'm a disappointment. It's fine.
Oh, yeah.
like that's like the hard thing about the internet too, is because like you want to post your clips and you want to be able to do this, but like the internet takes it out of context, and then like you post something and you're like, oh, this is sick, this is super funny, but 20 minutes later you're on TikTok and some girl's just like, cancel Chloe, she's being a bitch,
Yeah.
she's a racist cunt,
Yeah.
and you're like, no, like you weren't even there, you didn't even use the whole clip, like there's no context.
Exactly.
You, like, that's like Pete Davidson used to talk about whenever people would write down comedy. Like they would do a review of his comedy and they would write down what he said. He goes, if you write it down and read it, it's horrible.
Yeah.
But it's context, is you have to see it in its full performance.
Exactly.
Like I've said jokes that I was like, if this was a 5-second clip of this joke, like the internet would hate me. But then you have to listen to the full 5-minute set that I did, and you're like, oh, that's funny. I get it now.
Yeah, and I kind of had that after Kill Tony too, like that, you know, that mix
Yeah.
where a lot of people, you know, it was a minute set. I had
Yeah.
to, it was one of my bits that I do. I had to trim down the fat, you know. But a lot of people got offended by what I had to say, and then I posted one clip on YouTube of my one-liners that I did here at Corky's one night, and some guy impersonating Joe Rogan
Jesus.
left a comment like, oh, you need to stop doing comedy, you're just a nasty ass woman, yada yada, these aren't funny, this and that. I was like, come off of it, I know Joe, get off my
Incel
dick.
basement.
Right?
As if Joe Rogan's fucking just perusing Facebook like that. Just ready to
Exactly.
comment.
Especially-
And Joe loves shit like that.
Yeah,
like
he
if you've
lo-
ever seen Joe Rogan's comedy, I mean,
Yeah.
you know.
Like,
Wait, here's the thing too, is that hey, there I go. Hey, you know what? That's actually the first time I've said
go for
that.
it. Go for it.
Here's the
Oh,
thing. Yeah.
you've been
No,
really good about that.
I've been good.
And you took 100% from me. I was saying it all the time, and
Yeah,
I
I
heard
know.
you earlier. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just fucking. So here's the thing. Here's the thing. I picked that up from my wife Sam.
Here's the thing.
Yeah, I hear something enough, and then At any rate, here's what the deal is. The whole cancel culture. I think people like, and that's why there's big resurgence of comedy. I think people are kind of tired of it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I think unless you really go off the rails and say some really fucking awful shit, like no context, it's not funny, you're just being crazy, you don't have to worry about it. So I guess if this helps you at all, because here's the thing too, is unfortunately and also fortunately, it's kind of like a necessary evil with social media and everything being all transparent with everything that you're doing. If people are pissed off at you, any press is good press.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what I've told folks over time since I've been doing this, because my material is also kind of like out of fucking left field.
Oh, I love it. Yeah.
I appreciate that, but and I you know, obviously I've walked some folks because of the nature of it, and I'm like, you know, I joke around beforehand like, oh, I'll watch them while they walk these people. I don't intend to, and I don't intend to offend anybody or make anybody feel a certain way aside from good, lighthearted laughter, I guess, but. If it's gonna happen, I'm not gonna necessarily like apologize for it either. And so here's the thing: is that like, if right now I can promote the dick out of myself, which I've been trying to do. I turned my page into like a professional one or whatever.
Yeah.
Shout out Bernard Blackman for walking me through that stuff. But I can promote myself till the cows come home or till I'm blue in the face. But if a group of people got pissed off at me tomorrow, my content wouldn't be shared. Because truly the best way to like cancel somebody is just ignored entirely. And it sounds stupid.
Yeah.
You know, it sounds like Morgan Freeman's rant where a lot of people got mad. I think this was like 2010 where they were like, what do you think about racism? How do you stop it? He said, stop talking about it. People are like, that's not enough, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
To a degree, like let's just take the Kanye situation because I know you love to talk about it. If he's still making headlines. Like I go on Reddit and then I cycle through most popular from all Reddit threads, just Kanye, or Elon.
It's all about traction.
Right.
If you get the traction and get people to talk about shit, then they're gonna encourage the bad behavior.
So I'm not gonna say that I necessarily that I want to piss a fucking group of people off to where they try to cancel me.
Yeah.
But the unfortunate reality of it is that if that were to happen, I would probably gain way more, or any of us would gain way more, because now you have the exposure level, because people are going to be like, well, what the fuck did they say?
Yeah.
And they're going to listen to it, and there's going to be a decent amount of folks who are like, well, I thought that was funny.
Yeah, and I mean, like, I feel that, too, because, I mean, I've had some some circumstances, like, at shows where, like, I would tell a joke, and I remember specifically, I told a joke about suicide, and there was, like, a group of women that were like, that's not funny, and I literally kind of went off. I was like, look, you paid to be here.
Yeah.
You paid to see this. Like, what were you expecting? This is comedy. We're here to make you laugh. It's a relatable topic, you know. I'm trying to make it relatable. I'm trying to make it funny so people can cope, you know, if they've been through that or if they, you know. And I was like, if you don't fucking like it, then you need to leave.
Go
Simple
home.
as that. Exactly.
And if it was that near and dear, you wouldn't have brought it up.
Exactly.
Like, I made a joke about suicide one time, and someone was like, that's not funny. Like, my friend committed suicide. I was like, I also don't know you.
Yeah.
You came to a comedy show. You don't know what's going to happen here.
Exactly. Like, cool, bitch. I tried to kill myself, what?
Like,
4 times? Yeah.
Like, I was like, I've had my bouts with, like, suicidal thoughts and suicidal actions. And, like, I'm also making light of it because I've experienced it.
Exactly.
And what is comedy? It's an over-exaggeration of topics. And we're making fun of it. Like, when it comes to, like, political comedy, like, they'll say shit and I'm like, well, that's not completely true, but it's funny. And, like, people get so serious about shit. I'm like, dude, shut the fuck up.
Exactly. I think that's what we need in the world
Grow
right
up.
now. It's just laughter. And people don't... I mean, this world is shitty.
Yeah.
Just
like,
to be able to, like, check the seriousness at the door.
Exactly.
And just, like, whatever comes up, even if it's not something that I agree with, I'm still going to laugh about it.
Yeah.
Because we're poking fun at it, we're punching it up, punching it down, just making silly observations. And then when you fucking leave the doors of the comedy place or Corky's, you can just go back to being pissed off and fighting with your fucking in-laws at Christmas because
like,
they're a bunch of dumb Democrats or whatever.
Like, there's some people who I've seen coming up, and it's always open mics because they'll never make it past an open mic. But they'll go up there and they'll say some crazy off-the-wall shit.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's not funny. That's racist.
Yeah.
Like, straight out racist. Or that's homophobic. Or, like, that's dumb. Or that's not even funny. But they're like, oh, well, this isn't funny. And da-da-da-da-da. I'm like, no, you don't get the context of comedy.
Yeah.
You're just saying crazy shit. And you're probably low-key a racist. So
they're confusing the, like, shock value of, like, oh, I can't believe he just said that to, like, being funny.
There was one guy, whenever we had an open mic at Green Door, he, like, walked on stage, and his leading thing was, so Biden's our president, and he was a very right-leaning person. He thought that was a joke, and we all just stared at him and go, yeah, we know, we watch TV.
That's a statement.
That's
like,
that's not funny.
It's like, yes, we are aware.
Yeah.
Grass is usually green.
Yeah, like, the sky is blue.
Yeah, I thought that was a setup. I was like...
and
just waiting,
And that was
like,
that was it.
okay.
And then he, like, lost his confidence and said some crazy shit. And I'm like, it comes down to, it's all about context, and if you can make it funny, and, like, I've made jokes about Kanye, and I've never, and, like, he got really anti-Semitic, and someone was like, you making jokes, are you afraid of people thinking you're anti-Semitic? I was like, I'm not anti-Semitic.
Yeah.
I'm not racist. I'm not any of these horrible things, but I'm making jokes about it because it's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous, and it's kind of what's
and
relatable
it's
in
pointing
media
out
right now.
the crazy shit.
Yeah.
Because, like, why not? Like, you see all this crazy shit on TikTok and on YouTube, you're gonna watch it.
Yeah.
So why not exploit that a little bit and work on it and make it part of your bit and work on comedy and then continuous, like, if I can ride a wave and get a couple jokes out of it, get a couple people to, like, follow me from that, and then also write other jokes. It's like, oh, this is my typical stuff, but, like, here's other stuff I've done.
Yeah.
Then awesome. If I can write a joke and I'm like, this is a solid joke, I'm not going to not use it.
Yeah. And that's what I like about, like, Austin, too, the Austin scene, is that they really embrace that aspect of comedy.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if you've ever been to any shows out there, but, like, I know at Secret Show on Thursdays at Vulcan Gas Company, they lock up phones.
Yeah, which
and
is awesome.
I love that, because that really gives the comedian freedom to say whatever the hell they want without the fear of, you know, that quote-unquote cancel culture, whatever the
somebody
case
just records
is.
the wrong segment of it.
Exactly, out of
And
context.
that's all that gets leaked.
Yeah. And I mean, Tony Hinchcliffe, he has like a bit where, you know, he says some stuff. I'm not gonna like say his jokes or anything, but then he's like, "Phones are locked up, bitches. What are you gonna do about it?" Exactly. So he punches that up, and I love that because.
Or like, he had that one bit where like he talked about Helen Keller, or like the whole thing, and
Yeah.
this girl got super mad about
Yeah.
it. He was like, "Leave. You can't handle me. Like, you
Yeah.
can't handle the
Yeah.
rest of the set. If that offended you, get the fuck out."
Yeah, I
Imagine
mean,
getting pissed off about Helen Keller. Like, oh man, dude, come on.
Did you know
she's
her?
been dead for like what 100 years.
Yeah.
Like, get over it, bitch.
Like, did you know Helen Keller? Did you
Yeah.
know her cousin?
Right.
You have the virtue signal for literally everybody.
Was your
Yeah.
uncle the Nazi that found her?
See, that's funny too. Is it's
Did
still
you just confuse Helen Keller with Anne Frank?
Oh, I just did.
you fucking.
That's a real thing.
Talk about Auschwitzstic over here. My God.
That's a knee
Oh,
slapper.
fuck.
On
The
actually,
German in me came out.
on an actually eerily similar note, I had a bit that I was working on, and I think it's got legs, and it never took off yet. I kind of put it on the back burner, so I guess that's why I'm comfortable talking about it. Is preaching about like the full circle-ness of everything.
Mm-hmm.
So like I don't remember it like word for word. Like I said, I haven't even touched this joke in months, but it starts as like, all right, so we know that like mental health is not to be joked about. It's a serious issue, right? And then kind of flip the script and say, okay, so like Hitler was a total piece of garbage. We all know that.
Yeah.
And we can joke about him, And everybody's like, yeah, okay, cool. Well, in my head, they're like following along. But and it's like, okay, so we find out Hitler has mental illness. Now what? You imagine like a world we live in where now you can't make fun of Hitler because you got the catch-22 going on.
Yeah.
So while I still stand by that as like we should really pay attention to where we're going here. I never was able to make it very funny.
Yeah.
But still, it's like it makes you think a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, you know, when you go up on stage, we're like, yeah, sure, we're trying to make you think a little bit, but it's not a TED talk. Like we're trying to
Yeah.
trying to get some laughs over here.
You're
Trying to
not
make you go,
preaching to
haha.
people.
Yeah.
Like,
No, that's why I admire the people who can preach and also make it funny.
like I've done that Terminator bit where like I talk about like I don't want to drink from the same water fountain as robots.
Yeah.
That's so
And-
good.
That is good.
And like I
Robot lives matter. I
Oh
can
my
see it now.
gosh,
Uh,
AI is gonna take
God.
over.
me and Alex Cunningham talked about it and like
Shout
like,
out to him.
Shout
people
out to him.
some people don't they feel uncomfortable about that whole bit
Because
like it's a play on racism from the 50s. I
Yeah.
was like, but also it's ridiculous. Robots aren't drinking from water fountains.
Yeah.
Robots aren't running around, and like, it tends to work better with black audiences because they recognize the ridiculousness of it, and white people are like, my uncle drank it, the whites only one.
That's how I
We're
feel.
uncomfortable.
That's how I feel about my black community bit. I feel like
Oh, yeah?
that does better with like the African American, the black, audiences.
Oh, yeah.
And because whenever I tell that to a white crowd, they're like, "Ooh," I'm like, "No, don't hold back on me. Don't hold back on me. No." But yeah, it's like that. It's like my joke where
That
like
white guilt kicks in.
yeah, it's like I talk about how my ex just broke up with me, which I think is messed up because I'm autistic. And I thought we were supposed to pity those that are genetically inferior, like the black community. And I told that joke at
Canceled.
Kill Tony, and everybody was like, what the fuck? And I just saw like the 5% of African Americans or black people that were in the audience, they were just like,
Yeah.
they embraced it and they thought that was funny.
So last Wednesday, I don't want to give it away because I'm still trying to fire this one off. You guys remember? Well, you weren't here. The one that I did and I was basically like eyeballing Bernard because he was up
Oh
front.
yeah.
Dude, he thought that was fucking hilarious. Like most other, I think I did that out in Killeen at that one show, and it fucking slayed the room. But they were still like here at Corky's, but it was at the time it was a predominantly white crowd. Like some of them were like, "Can we laugh at that? Is that okay?"
All right, yeah.
Like, everybody else was just fucking dying, bro.
Yeah.
Like I've done like the robot joke I did when I first did it. Like it's like Prime. There's 3 black people in the
Optimus
room.
Prime?
And like I looked at all 3 black people in the room and they all started laughing. And like I saw the white people look at the black people in the room like, can we laugh at that? All right, we can laugh at that.
Yeah.
And it was
just
like
looking around like, okay, cool.
And like it's really hard to toe that line. But in the stage you're at when you're a small comedian, it's hard to toe that line. But once you get to like the Joe Rogan and like the Louis C.K. and like the bigger comedians, their audience is there. They already think they're funny, so they're ready for these jokes.
Yeah.
And you have to find your crowd. You have to find your tribe. In comedy. Who like I said that same joke in Austin one time. And I was like, I don't care if robot Twitter cancels me in 20 years. I'm going to say it now. I'm robophobic. And I had a trans person come up to me and said, you're covering up the fact that you're homophobic and transphobic by saying you're robophobic.
Wow.
And I was like, I'm transphobic? Like, what do you mean? Are you a transformer? Like,
and where'd you say this happened again?
It was in Austin.
Go figure.
That's the thing about Austin. It's real hit or miss, like crowd-wise.
You don't know what the flannels are hipster flannels or like redneck flannels.
And whenever I'm doing comedy in Austin, it's like you really,
flannels.
you really have to read the room because you don't. I mean, your set can kill at one place, and then your set could bomb at another place. So I do like a lot of like crowd work. I kind of read the room. I try to incorporate that kind of into my comedy because I mean, you have the handful of people in Austin that are like, oh, it's not funny, that's offensive, yada yada, you do this and that, and then you have the handful of people like, that's fucking awesome, keep doing it.
It's all about the energy.
Exactly.
Our friend Danny French, he was on.
Shout out to him.
Danny French.
He was on Adam Wolf and Justin Moreno's podcast.
Dude, I just listened to this morning.
And he talked about he did a set, I think it was probably here, and it killed. And then he went to a different crowd, same cadence, same everything.
Yeah.
Did the same set, and it bombed super hard.
Exactly.
Because the energy in the room was different, it's different people, and like that's the tricky thing about comedy.
It really
you
is,
can lull yourself in this false positive and this false like security and do a set that's killed.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you have like 40 people just staring at you going, that wasn't funny.
Yeah, and that's the one thing that I kind of do too. Like whenever I go and I do like an open mic or I do a show, I have an idea of how I'm gonna like present my stuff. But I kind of have to read the room beforehand to see what they're picking up on, whatever the case may be. And that's why I'm kind of nervous. I'm doing a show with Alex Cunningham on January 13th, I believe, Friday the 13th in Clean. I'm going to be the first one going up.
Oh, yeah.
I've never done a show in Clean. I don't know what the audience is going to look like.
Where's it at?
It's at a brewery. I don't know the name of it, but...
So probably predominantly white.
Yeah.
So, like, I could do my whole race thing, but, like, I don't know if it's going to do well or not. So that's the thing. I kind of have to...
And there's a double-edged sword where they're like, are they going to laugh at it or are they going to be shocked by it?
Yeah.
But also... if you shock them and you get that one person in the background who's going, Jesus Christ, that's almost just as good as laughter.
Yeah, because that's what I thought about. I thought about like starting, the set talking about like, oh, I've never done a show in Clean. I didn't know if I needed to bring my bulletproof vest or not, and then kind of going into my racism bit and then kind of playing off of that. But I don't know. I guess it's one of those things where you got to just.
It's like we talked with Dan Martinez about music, and with music. It's usually that's your crowd. Your crowd's there.
Yeah.
If you're playing country music, there's people who like country music be there.
Yeah,
you're
they're
playing
swing
metal
dancing
music,
and shit. Throwing people around in the crowd.
Yeah, like it doesn't like Slayer has never played in front of a crowd who didn't know it was Slayer.
Yeah.
But like a new crowd's like, oh, there's a comedy show here. Let me go see this comedy. They don't know what they're getting into sometimes.
Yeah, unless they know who you are. But I mean, it's very slim that you're going to have fans in the crowd or, I mean, the comedians will know you, but it's...
And half the crowds will be like, that Chloe girl, she's like super funny. That was great. And the other I'm like, that racist cunt.
That racist son of a bitch.
Like, oh my God, I couldn't stand her.
Yeah, it's...
Like,
It's rough out in these streets, man.
That's like the scary thing about comedy. That's what I
Yeah.
tell people. I always tell people, like, if you've worked on a joke for like over 2 weeks and you're afraid about doing it, I was like, just do it. Just fuck it. Just
See
do
how
it.
it does, and then kind of scale from there. Yeah.
I joked with the kid. He was doing his first open mic, and I was like, "Do you believe in having a soul? Like, do you believe in any of that?"
Mm-hmm.
He's like, "No, that's stupid." Da, da, da. I was like, "Well, whenever you've been working on a joke for like 2 or 3 weeks, and you say it out loud, and it bombs, it hurts about right here."
Yeah.
And I think that's where your soul lies, because you can feel it die.
Yeah, I have a joke right now that I'm working on about people with Down syndrome and how they resemble pugs.
Oh, wait, not that joke.
And I no that
Yeah, I know what
the one you're thinking about too. I'm kind of
I
switching.
love it's my favorite.
I'm kind of
So
switching
good.
some things up so I can incorporate that in my bit. But it's like I don't know how to approach that. You know, like I'm kind of.
You're gonna get that one lady who's like, "My son's Down
My
syndrome."
son has Down syndrome. Like, cool, bitch. I know
I
people
didn't
with Down
ask.
syndrome. I'm just trying to,
Yeah.
what? Yeah. So I feel that I'm kind of in the same boat where I'm like, fuck, I don't know how to. If I should present this, fuck it. Maybe Wednesday I'll just present it on stage and see how it does, and then.
You can just give it a shot, yeah, and that's like
I
the
mean,
thing.
yeah, and that's the reason why I come to Corky's is I test all my new material
Yeah.
here to kind of get feedback and then incorporate that into my shows.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know what this kind of feels like is the girl who friend zones you, but like she tries out her move to see if it'll work with somebody else.
Yo, yeah.
Like she'll send you a picture and be like, "How sexy do I look in this picture?"
How
Oh,
great
this
is my ass?
ass?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like I sent it to this other person, actually give up
This
said butt
ass
cheeks.
is for Jared.
Do
not
you
you,
like
bitch.
these jeans? All right, Jeremiah's gonna love these jeans.
Yeah.
No,
Damn.
That kind of reminds me because we've had this conversation, Gary, because both of us come from like a more how do I put this, like a more like punk rebellious background.
Yeah.
We had this conversation about like how it's like it went from fuck all the rules, fuck all the categories in the system and everything to like, okay, punk rock nowadays is like you gotta be vegan, you gotta be liberal, you gotta be this. Like, so
Yeah.
you put people into boxes when the whole idea was to not be in a box.
I'm
feel
just
that,
trying to
yeah.
set things on fire, guys.
Yeah, no
Yeah.
shit. That's why you're banned from the city of Philadelphia. So,
But
I'm like, I want, and I talk to my wife about like social issues and stuff like that, and I'm like, not necessarily that you don't want to hear my opinion type bullshit like that, but it's different because I still think of that like. I think
You're right. You're a cis white man. We don't want to hear your
Yeah.
exactly.
Fuck you.
But no, I think it's more like
grow up.
like it's like I said, in all societal aspects, like you have all these different movements and they have names, and then a person is this and a person is that. I'm like, why are you guys putting yourself in a little boxes? I thought the whole point was you didn't want to be in a box. So rather than breaking out of said box and be like, you know what, this is who I am as a person, regardless of this or that, this 1, 2, or 3.
Yeah.
I'm this person, right? But instead it's just like, okay, so you went from one box to another.
I feel that. Yeah.
And then there's like rules to everything now. It's like, for fuck's sake, like I like wearing Doc Martens.
I love.
I would
Docs,
love to
yes.
fucking switch out the laces to different colored laces, but if I put on
But
some kind
yeah,
of color,
each
it
lace
means
represents
some shit.
something,
And
yeah.
somebody's gonna be like, oh yeah, you like taking
Oh.
it up the butt.
Yeah.
Be like, my favorite color is red. I want some red laces. Like, oh, are you a Nazi?
Yeah,
Like,
I was just
wanna
about to
put
say
red
that.
laces on my shit. Like, why the
Yeah.
fuck can I not do that?
But I
Yeah.
think that's old. Like, that's like old dudes.
Should I just go for it?
Go
Should I
for
just
it.
do it.
Fuck it, dude. Because that's a bunch of old, crusty men who are just like,
Yeah.
this is how it was in the 80s. I was like, that was 40 years ago.
Just do it how women do it. Just do it and then play dumb
Yeah. Oh, I ain't now.
when it's
Well,
brought
here's
up.
the thing: is I don't remember who I was talking to, but inadvertently stumbled into that where I was like, yeah, I'm thinking like I think it was a stranger. They complimented. They're like, oh, dude, I like your docs. I'm like, cool, yeah. Like the only thing I want to do is I want to switch out the fucking laces, like maybe red or something. They were like, red. Oh, you don't want to do that. And I was like,
Why?
why the fuck not? They're like, oh, well, people are gonna think you're a Nazi. I'm like, so instead of are they so pussified that they don't do bolts on their necks anymore? They just do red laces.
Yeah.
Dude, like, I knew a guy who, he was Native American, and he liked punk rock, and he was wearing docs. And he put red laces in his docs because his tribe's main color was red. And he's clearly not white. And they were like, that's a Nazi. I was like, that is a Native American who's apparently his main color in his tribe was red, so he wore red laces. Or like, I've seen a white kid who just put white laces in, which is supposed to symbolize white supremacy, but he goes, most of my wardrobe is black and white,
Yeah.
and that's my
Just
like,
want to match.
that's
yeah.
my aesthetic, and he just wanted to match. And I was like, I don't think this kid's a racist. Like, now if I see it with a red band on his arm and, like, throwing his hand up and, like, telling black people to fuck off, like, then, yeah, he's a racist. But, like, just let him go.
You know what? I'm just gonna fucking do it. I don't care.
Do it.
Probably just end up stopping by someplace like tomorrow and fucking do it.
I will buy you the laces.
Yeah, just fuck the system. Like I said, be a woman. Like, play like how
Be a
women
woman.
do.
Yeah. Be a woman.
Be a bitch. No, but I
My
just.
tits are on the way from Amazon.
But yeah, just play. Like, if anybody's like, oh, what the fuck's that? Be like, oh, I had no idea.
I
like
color
red.
Educate me. Oh, cool. And then just
I'm
fucking keep
Jeremiah
on your
Red,
wayward
like, what
son.
the fuck do you want me to
yeah.
do?
Yeah.
Dog? Like,
Well, and also, like, that's where, like, I think that comedy is way more punk rock than punk rock now.
yeah, because you can,
for
like,
sure.
you know, any
Dude.
idea is acceptable, and well, it's
Unless
one of those things
it's-
where like, yeah, unless it's like super fucked up. But it's also one of those things where it's a free reign because you can say whatever you want to. You're not necessarily free from the consequences of doing
Well,
so.
yeah.
But
Yeah, that's kind of.
I've only ever heard of one person getting, like, you know, a ban or a hiatus from Corgis, and that was something completely different.
Yeah.
But no,
I know
like,
what you're talking about.
to my knowledge, like, I don't know of any mic where anybody, like the owners or promoters or whatever, has ever been like, yeah, dude, like, you can't come back here, fuck you.
Yeah, no, I've never experienced
Alex
that.
got
Excuse
banned
me.
from a place in Salado.
Oh yeah, I heard about that one.
He talked
Never mind,
about-
I retract my
He,
statement.
Shut
he
up.
aggressively talked about his dick, or like dicks in general, and the guy was like, "We don't do that here."
Where was
And
this?
then it was somewhere in Salado. I forget exactly where.
Oh,
but
interesting.
like 2 weeks later, I went.
I know
to
the name of
place
the
in
spot. I
Salado.
just don't want to say it out loud.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, by all means, yeah.
We don't want them to think we're shitting on them.
Don't-
I went
blast
back
their
to the
asses.
same place, and I talked about how I used to do cocaine, and I had my whole Germany story.
Yeah.
And like, he like walked up to me, and goes, "Son, that might be funny other places, but that shit ain't funny here."
That's the thing
Really?
too.
He goes,
is-
"I would very much like it if you didn't come back here again." I was like, "I didn't want to be here again. Anyways, your burger sucked."
Yeah,
And it was
definitely
overpriced.
glad I didn't name drop the place because I
Yeah.
think that they're all right. But
Yeah, they're okay, but I was spiteful.
yeah, it's true.
Yeah,
You
that's-
spiteful, petty ass bitch.
Fuck
But no,
you.
I mean, and that's one of those things too where that's a little bit different because it's one of the, like, you know, they're like, okay, we're open to the idea of comedy, but like we have these parameters
Yeah.
installed. Not like we're Corky's where it's pretty much a free reign.
Which
not-
I love.
Which
Oh,
I'm
it's so
jinxing
sick.
it right now. I'm jinxing it right
You're
now.
Right?
You're
Fucking
gonna get
Kurt.
canceled tomorrow.
Yeah, so no, not me.
Somebody's gonna
somebody's gonna
come.
come burn this motherfucker
Yeah.
down because of something they heard.
But like when it comes down to like I don't know where you like. Did you go to punk rock shows? I mean, I've seen you at punk rock shows.
Yeah, so growing
But,
up, I had a very weird childhood. So my dad was very punk rock. I mean, tattoos, gauges, loved punk rock music. So I had that aspect. And my mother was like a square, you know, very clean,
Fun.
no tattoos, holy roller
He was
kind
the
of.
bad boy.
He was the best. Well, when
Balance, I guess,
when they
yeah.
were together, they were like grunge kids. They had me very young.
Okay.
So they were like grunge kids. They were kind of in the same scene, and then like they split up shortly after I was born. And so my dad kind of, you know, embraced more of that punk aspect, got the tattoos, and then my mom kind of, you know, mellowed out. You know, had to work, had to provide for me. Very clean cut. Still is clean cut to this day.
Is your mom a looker or no?
Yeah, my mom, she's fucking hot AF. She's young.
I had a feeling just by the way you were describing
is she
her. in
with
that,
someone right now?
in
Yes, my stepdad. She's 45. She's super young. She's
in
super
that
hot.
backstory, it just seems like I don't know why I
Are
just
they in the
pictured like a
threesomes?
smoke show.
Oh, sorry.
He's Puerto Rican. I
We're
don't know,
gonna have
man.
to check this out here. We're gonna have to analyze this after we're done recording.
Yeah, but my mom, she was
Your
just
mom's like,
very.
no, not my type.
My mom was very like clean cut. Like she told me growing up, if you ever get tattoos, I'm going to fucking disown and kill you. And then what do? A week after she moves to Florida, I fucking get a tattoo. Sorry, mom, if you're watching this.
Call me.
But yeah, I had that
Subscribe to our
very.
Patreon.
Right.
Or our
Subscribe to my
YouTube channel if we don't have
OnlyFans.
the Patreon yet.
Yeah.
You're only. Does she know about the OnlyFans?
I kind of mentioned it to her when I first started it out.
Okay,
I
how
didn't
do you
tell.
kinda mention
My
something?
stepdad though was for it. He was like, "Oh
What?
fuck, if you can post pictures like in lingerie, it's practically a bikini. If you can make money off of it, by all means,
That's true,
go
yeah.
for it."
Bro, if
so I
I
was like,
can-
"Hell yeah!"
So you're not doing like full nude or anything crazy like that?
If I could wear
Off the
short
record,
shorts,
gotcha.
Off the record.
if I could wear short shorts and post pictures of my ass, and dudes would be like, or anybody, I don't care, it'd be like, here's some money for that. I'd be like, you can get pictures of whatever you want.
Yeah.
Like, let's go.
Let's go.
Like, I work at a very reputable company that, please don't fire me if you ever see any of this. But like,
Don't
I'm
name
not
drop
disclosing
them.
any
Yeah.
names.
but if I could just, if some dude was like, I want you to dip your balls in glitter and take a picture of it, and I'll give you $20. Done.
Oh, by all
glitter
means.
my
Hell
balls.
yeah.
Like, they will look like the next Christmas.
I don't know if I
give a
would do
fuck.
that for $20, but that's just because I hate glitter.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be a mess.
Dude,
that's gonna be a bitch to
that-
clean.
Such
I feel
a
like it
bitch
would
to clean.
travel to your butthole and you're itching your butthole.
Oh my god, it's gonna be like a fucking ABBA concert up there in the shower later.
You like rip off your underwear, it's like,
Blinded
Glitter
by
bomb!
the light.
I got a buddy of mine. He's always said, I used to work with him, and he said that glitter is the herpes of craft products.
Jesus,
Yes.
yes.
I'm like, I've never heard a better way to
Accurate. That's
describe that.
fantastic. Love that.
I had a friend of mine. He had like some sort of autistic or something, some disorder. Not you. And he was like glitter made his skin crawl. He's like, just the feeling of
It's
glitter.
probably
I hate
autism.
it.
Yeah, the sensory.
And,
Because
like-
that's how I am with velvet. Like I cannot feel velvet. It grosses me out. And
But-
chalk.
Yeah,
No.
like I remember one day I was like, I tested it because we've been friends for years.
Yeah.
So I was like, he'll let me go on this one. And I like went with some glitter. He was like, he like got like angry.
Yeah.
And then kale chips. I got a free bag of kale chips one time. I handed it to him and he ate it and he got
Oh.
like visibly angry.
Gross.
And just like I was like, yeah, they're gross, but like he got like actually mad about the texture in his mouth.
Yeah.
Like I was like, I've never seen him like that.
Shit.
But I was like, okay, never mind. I'm done testing my limits.
Yeah, but to get back on topic, I did grow up punk rock.
Okay, yeah.
I'm glad you remembered. I was over there thinking, like, where the fuck are we going with this?
but my dad, yeah, like I said, he grew up on punk rock, and I feel like I gravitated more towards that lifestyle because I don't know if it was like my mom and like the rules and the stuff, and I was like, fuck. And then my dad was like super chill. R.I.P. a real one. He passed away in 2012.
I'm not
But
even Christian. I don't know why I did that.
I'm not Christian either. Whatever.
Yeah, we all did it.
we all did it. Whatever. But
Like I'm gonna go
yeah.
piss my cross later.
I feel like my style is more.
Yeah.
My music taste, my style is more.
I mean, you do look like the goth paper boy. So.
Hey, I got told today that I looked like the AC/DC lead singer if they were trying to cosplay as a young goth girl. I also got Goth Luigi too, which I'm not mad about.
Goth Luigi.
That's
Goth
so sick.
Luigi. I thought that was fucking sick. I'm gonna put like an L right here. Fuck yeah.
But okay, so what I was getting at was like punk rock. Like you talked about people who are in old school punk rock. And it's no holds barred. It's like,
Yeah.
let's joke about whatever. Let's
Yeah.
hang out. Like I've hung out with like old school punk dudes who used to be in like punk gangs and used to beat people up for like whatever. And they'll make the worst jokes ever. And I'm like, this is like they're like shit is the world is fucked up. So let's make fun of it.
Yeah.
But now you talk to like young kids and they're like offended by all these different things.
Yeah, it's just
and,
so
like,
different
let
nowadays.
it go, dude.
Yeah.
They're like, I'm punk rock because I dyed my hair purple. I was like, you're not punk rock
I'm
at all.
punk rock because I listen to Machine Gun Kelly. No,
Yeah.
bitch, that's
Grow
not
the
punk
fuck
rock. It's
up.
like fucking Ramones. You know,
Like, well, like it's
go
like
mosh around,
go
get your
listen to
fucking
Leftover
ass
Crack.
kicked every once in a while. Like,
I
like,
think it's
go-
more about like the statement and that. I mean, the music kind of tied along into it.
yeah.
yeah.
That's another reason I'm
The
about to
whole
just
movement.
I'm about to just I guess shit all over you guys. Like another reason that pissed me off about the punk rock movement after a while
They're
is
gonna hate
the
us.
It's all right.
gatekeeping
We'll
because
cry
of the
together.
music.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of MGK, but that's not because I'm not allowed to. It's just because I personally said that I don't like them. I
yeah,
catch a
I
lot
don't
of
care
shit
for
from
him
like
either.
punk rock dudes. Is like, oh, you like Blink-182? Yeah.
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 They can write songs. I'm
They were my
sorry that they
introduction
know.
to that.
Right?
I'm sorry that for up until middle school, I had a structured childhood before it all went to shit, and I
Yeah.
wasn't allowed to listen to fucking Black Flag.
Like, I can listen to Black Flag and be like, this is a dope band.
Mm-hmm.
But also I can listen to Green Day and be like, American Idiot is still a great album.
It's still a
because
bop,
it's
yeah.
so well
Their last
written.
great album, unfortunately.
Yeah, like
In my
Yeah,
opinion.
like
Yeah, no.
because I can look at an album like I love Meshuggah, and like it's super well written, like the production's good, but also I can listen to Circle Jerk's first album. Production's terrible,
Yeah.
but it's such a good album,
Yeah.
and like it's about a message, like Banned from DC by Bad Brains.
Yep.
Fucking sick, dude.
Good shit.
Like, I love Bad Brains. They revolutionized a lot of things that came into punk rock later, but also, like, not gonna lie, Machine Gun Kelly, he's got a couple bops.
Here's the thing. Travis Barker was a producer, and
Yeah.
Travis Barker could pick up a couple of hobos off the street and make something happen.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So
Like-
I think he doesn't get enough credit for that.
Like, oh, dude, Travis Barker is so good, and know it. Like, yeah,
Travis
we're
Barker,
gonna
I'd
get
suck your dick, bro.
No.
Yeah, I'd suck it for OnlyFans and make so much money.
Chloe Montgomery, Travis Barker, Jeremiah Red, Gary Spragg, OnlyFans collab.
Yeah.
Dude, me and like Travis on the fucking drums
2023.
and then like having some guy in the back just get jerked off. Fuck yeah, I think that would sell.
I would jerk myself off. I don't even know the other
There
guy.
you go. Yeah, you just stand in the back. We're like doing
Chloe,
something
get out
like,
of the way, bitch.
But like,
I'm gonna make it rain up in this bitch. All right.
I was like, I've never come so hard in my life.
Jesus Christ, that'd be, fuck yeah, I'd be down.
I
But,
just
like-
killed any chance of him getting on the pod. He's
Yeah,
like, we
right.
got famous.
He's like, no, fuck that.
It's like,
You guys are weird.
His PR person is like, we just want you to see this before you agree to anything.
are
But
you sure about
It would be
this?
so sick if he was like, I have to be on this podcast.
See, that's like a wet dream come
Yeah.
true. My God.
But like with new punk rock, it's super safe. It's super boring.
That's
Dude,
just how
and,
everything
no
is
effects,
nowadays.
separation of church and the skate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Still
But
holds
dude,
up.
it's social media has like pushed that so hard.
Yeah.
And like you have to be accepting of everything.
Doesn't
and
make
like
profitable.
now it makes me feel like that kid who grew up with Catholic parents,
Yeah.
and they're like I went to church when I was younger.
Same.
But I was the cool kid in church because I listened to non-secular, like I listened to
You get
secular
non-secular music, yeah.
I was like, I listened to Green Day, like, oh my god, you don't listen
You
to
can
Catholic-
watch SpongeBob?
Oh my
you can
God.
listen. Yeah, it was like that because
Oh,
I
Harry
grew up
Potter is not
Baptist.
blasphemy.
Yeah.
Right?
I was like, Mom, can I read this Harry Potter book? She's like, you can read? Go for it.
As long as you're reading, we don't
Thank
give a fuck.
God,
Like,
by
thank
all
God.
means.
He bought a book. Holy shit. But like, it's so safe now, and like it's why I don't want to go to hardcore shows. It's why I piss off the hardcore scene in Austin, and I posted one thing on Twitter. And
Yeah,
a
imagine
bunch
having
of
to fight somebody because you're not vegan.
Yeah.
Jesus
fuck?
Christ.
Or like
You're not gluten-free, bitch.
your venue got closed down because you didn't want to promote it and you didn't want to do anything for yourself.
Oh, I remember you telling
You
me
didn't want to like be a good at music.
Yeah.
Oh, you want to be super underground? Now your band doesn't exist. How underground is that?
Yep.
Get the fuck over it.
Again, like I said the last episode, like I'm just gonna start telling people because I don't have a huge following. Like, I'm just really underground. You know, you
Yeah.
just gotta be in the know.
Just an underground, yeah.
I'm super exclusive.
I fucking
But,
love
Go
it, man.
fuck yourself.
We're coming close to time here, so Chloe, if you could entice our viewers with whatever you like, honestly, shitty advice, good advice, saying a quote, whatever you can think of. Just send us off with something good. No pressure.
I'm just gonna tie my shoe.
Everybody's tying their shoes right now. Let me tie my shoe too. No, man. I mean, like comedy-wise, just take each day at a time. Don't rush into anything. Like we were talking about earlier, like those people that we know that are wanting to go straight into Kill Tony and do their thing. Something that I wish I would have done is do more open mics, really get an understanding of my comedy and what I wanted to do with that. Be prepared, you know, because you never know what's gonna fucking happen. As for life, just live every day like it's your last. Just do you. Don't listen to everybody. Don't confine yourself into a box. Yeah.
Remember that you will die.
Yeah, everybody
Remember-
fucking dies.
Yeah, that's true.
You may not wake up tomorrow. So
Exactly.
go do it today.
And
Feel
that's
free to
kinda-
laugh about it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Laugh about it. And that's what I do. Like I take all these horrible things that happen in my life because like I've been shot. I'm going through some health stuff right now that's not for the faint of heart, and just fucking laugh about it because that's what the world needs right now, and that's what you need right now.
Yeah.
Is just laughter to get you through all the bad
It's
moments.
the best medicine.
It is the best medicine. So
So, is your boy Tony gonna like promote us or give us a shout out? That's the whole reason we
He's
brought
like,
you on.
fuck these guys.
he's like, who the fuck are these nerds? Like, you guys
Fucking-
fucking suck.
I'm gonna hold
Dude,
this
he
episode
is,
hostage.
He's brutal. The last time
They're
I
using
saw
USB
him.
mics. What the fuck?
My God. The last time I saw him, he looked at me, he goes, you look like a fucking goth librarian. Get the fuck out of here. I was like, Jesus Christ.
Nice
He's-
to see you too.
Right? Love you too, man.
Hey,
He's-
that's the leveling. You have all those dudes on OnlyFans like, oh my god, you're a goddess, you're beautiful, until Tony's just
And then
like,
I got these other
balance.
comedians that are like, you're a fucking autistic fuck. Get out of here.
It's all
I'm
about
like,
balance.
yes, sir.
Oh shit! Hang on. Sorry, that reminds me. A pretty good send off for us. Some advice specific to the females that are wanting to come up here and get the chuckles.
Ooh.
Your first, well, technically not our first female guest, but like We don't talk about that. It has nothing to do with the person. It was just our fuck up.
We're just not.
We're just gonna have to get her back in and redo the whole thing.
I'm so sorry.
So, sorry. Comedy, women get into it. Any specific advice for that, if any? I mean, I don't know.
Just fucking embrace it. Don't let men prevent you from following your dreams. Because we talked about it earlier. Like, I've been so fortunate where the people that I work with or the comedians that I work with, they've been very accepting. But I know that's not the case for everybody.
Right.
Don't let that bring you down. Keep doing what you want to do. And just fuck men. Fuck men in general. Who gives
fuck
a shit?
them.
Who gives
We like to
them.
fuck.
Have
Fuck
sex
the
with
men.
them?
Sorry, never mind.
Oh, sorry.
Wait, what?
The men came out.
See, exactly what she said. We're dumb. We don't know what the
dumb.
fuck.
Just do you, baby. Just do you. Whatever it is you want to do in life, just live your life to the fullest. If it's comedy, pursue that. Don't let men put you in a box. Do your thing, and I promise you're gonna be happier that way. I am.
We love
Very
seeing female
happy.
comics come out because it's a different point of view.
Yeah.
It is, yeah.
I'm so tired of hearing
You'll
the
learn
same
some
point of
shit.
view.
Yeah.
Because like if you can get a good open mic where there's black people, there's women,
I
there's,
like how you went straight to black people and looked
Yeah.
at me. I was like,
and there's white people. There's so many white people.
all right, I'm
Jesus
heading
Christ.
out. Yeah.
So many
There
white
is a
people.
lot of white people, yeah.
But like if you get like black, white, Hispanic women, women of color, like Asian, it doesn't like everything. There's so many
Yeah.
perspectives, and it makes
And
comedy
I really
fun.
wish there were more women in comedy. Like I said,
Dude,
in
yeah.
Austin, there's just a handful, and I wish there were more because women can do anything that men can do 10 times better.
Yeah.
And women are fucking hilarious.
Dude.
So,
Marcia Shabert.
Oh.
Like, I shout out Marcia.
such a queen.
Shout
I
out
love
to
her.
her.
My
Fucking
first
amazing.
open mic ever. I've probably talked this before. Like, I showed up. I just watched, and she was like, "Are you gonna go up?" I was like, "No, I have nothing written." And my first week that I went up, she's the one who got me to go up. And after that, it's been continuous. Like, she's been so supportive
Yeah.
and so nice. And I owe this podcast, I owe this to Marcia because she pushed me to do comedy. And she's like, "You're funny. You just gotta know
Yeah.
you're funny. And just keep at it." And, like, along with her and, like, all the mentors I've had in comedy. But, like, I owe everything. I'm feeling about to cry. Fuck.
Aw.
To Marcia.
Yeah.
Because, and it's a female comic who got me into this shit. And it has made me, like, so many good friends. And, like, you guys and this podcast. And it's, like, it's super punk rock. And I love it. And, like, I've had too much to drink. I've had too much to drink.
I've had one too many beers,
What
guys.
the
Holy
fuck? I
shit, the
had a
emotions
Truly's-
are coming out.
I had Truly's, and now my ovaries grew.
I was gonna wrap it up by saying let's kill this and go get drunk, but
Yeah,
Gary
let's
might
go
be cut
fuck.
off already.
No.
Damn. It's like, what time is it? Like,
Getting
what?
his feels.
7?
It is, it's about 7.
We've
Damn.
been filming podcasts.
Shit.
Yeah,
No,
we-
but yeah,
we
no,
can get after the
Marcia,
damn thing.
shout out.
Hardcore.
I owe all of my comedy shit to Marcia.
Yeah,
It's
she's
a female
wonderful.
comic, and I love seeing female comics go up, unless you go for 10 minutes straight. And you
Oh
ignore
my
the light,
God.
go fuck yourself. Unless you're really funny. If you give me a funny 10 minutes, let's go. But if
Yeah.
you, no.
All right,
sorry.
speaking of running the light, we definitely got to wrap this up. I can't
Flashed
wait to
up.
get downstairs and get me a quesadilla, but thank you all for
I've
tuning
been
in.
Quesadilla.
so
Damn
bad.
quesadilla.
Yeah, quesadilla.
Quesadilla.
Thank you, Chloe, for coming out. It's
Thanks
been
for
an absolute
having
pleasure.
me. Yeah, I love you guys. Y'all are some of my best friends.
Thank you for also waiting through the technical difficulties, blah, blah, blah. to
Yeah,
make
that
me
was
know, shut the
fucking
fuck up.
bullshit.
We'll be better.
We will be better, nonetheless.
I feel like I'm talking to my ex. I'll get better.
This has been the Basuda Triangle podcast, and I guess this is our new tagline, just stay trashy.